This happened to a very close friend of mine. He and I practically grew up together. Childhood friends, best friends, the kind of duo that's always side by side and knows each other better than anyone else. We were inseparable, or at least that's what we thought. Everything started to change when he met a girl. She was our age, and we met her in some private tutoring sessions with a teacher from our school. She came from an all-girls school, so at first she seemed a bit out of place. To be honest, I didn't really like her at the beginning. She treated my friend in a strange way, sometimes with harsh jokes, little hits on the arm, playful pushes, and other times she helped him with homework as if it was her responsibility. That mix of tenderness and roughness would confuse anyone. Our teacher and I used to laugh about their dynamic. We would tell them that in the future they would end up dating, that it was obvious they liked each other, that they were the typical pair who starts by arguing and ends up in love. They would blush and deny it, as if admitting it was the worst thing in the world. "Not a chance," she'd say. "Never," he'd add. But their eyes were saying something else. Almost a year went by like that. They became closer and closer, even though their routine stayed the same. Jokes, soft shoves, laughter, and little moments of complicity. I watched from the outside, trying to figure out if what I was seeing was just friendship or something more. Eventually, life moved on. We drifted a bit apart, but that bond between them remained like a story that hadn't finished yet. 4 years later, life decided to bring them together again. My friend was going home on a bus when, out of nowhere, he saw her get on. She sat nearby, recognized him instantly, and they started talking like no time had passed at all. They caught up on everything: college, family, all the changes, and all the things that stayed the same. Little by little, their conversation grew more serious, and, almost without being able to avoid it, they confessed that they had always liked each other. They admitted that their old jokes weren't as innocent as they seemed. After a while, they decided to start a relationship. At first, everything looked calm, almost perfect. When my friend falls in love, he goes all in. He dedicated songs to her, visited her at home, brought her small gifts just to see her smile. He planned little surprises, showed up when she didn't expect him, and tried to be there for her all the time. Emotionally, he gave everything, something he used to say he would only do for the person he imagined building a future with. I was happy for him, but I was also worried about how fast and how deeply he was feeling. Eventually, I chose to step back a bit. I wanted to give them space to live their story without me in the middle. Another reason, even if I didn't say it out loud, was that there were things about her that never completely convinced me. Still, one night I agreed to hang out with them again. The three of us were at her place, watching videos, talking, laughing like old times. At one point, my friend went outside for a phone call, and I stayed alone with her in the living room. That was when everything changed for me. She started talking to me, as if she had suddenly decided to trust me. She told me she believed I wouldn't tell anyone, and then she dropped a huge confession. She had been unfaithful to my friend, more times than she liked to admit, with ex-boyfriends, with a guy she met on the street, and with another one who, according to her, was more handsome than my friend. Every name she mentioned felt like a blow. I just stared at her, feeling a mix of disbelief and rejection. Inside, I was thinking about everything my friend did for her, every detail, every visit, all the care he gave her without asking for anything in return. The worst part wasn't only what she was saying, but how she acted while saying it. She wouldn't let go of my hand. She leaned closer, as if she wanted to do with me the same thing she was doing with everyone else. I felt so uncomfortable that I simply stood up, took a deep breath, and from the doorway called out to my friend that I was leaving. From that night on, I decided not to hang out with them anymore. I pulled away, made up excuses, stopped replying to group messages. I didn't want to be a witness to something that hurt me this much, or to keep supporting a story that was so unbalanced. But the weight of what I knew kept growing day by day, until I felt I couldn't carry it alone anymore. One night, I asked my friend to talk in private. We sat in a park under a dim light, and I told him everything, every word, every name, every detail she had shared with me. He stayed quiet, eyes lost in the distance, and then he said something that shocked me even more. He already knew. He knew she had been unfaithful, and yet he stayed with her, as if he was waiting for everything to magically change. I won't lie, I got really upset. It wasn't just about what she had done, but about how he was allowing himself to be treated. We argued. I spoke to him harshly. I told him this wasn't a healthy kind of love, that he was handing his self-respect to someone who didn't value it. He, somewhere between words and silence, broke a little, but he kept defending the idea that she could change. After that argument, we calmed down and talked more quietly. I explained that I wasn't telling him all this to hurt him, but to protect him. That a good friend doesn't stay silent when he sees someone he cares about stuck in a situation that's slowly breaking them inside. That week was tough for him. He thought, doubted, questioned everything. In the end, he made a decision. He ended the relationship, told her he didn't want anything more with her, and blocked her everywhere. She still reached out to me, though. She found my number and sent me a lot of angry messages, blamed me for everything, said some pretty unpleasant things, convinced that I had forced him to break up. I just left her on red, blocked her as well, and went on with my life. I didn't want to stay connected to that drama anymore. Over time, I found out she was with another guy, and, from what I heard, she was still hiding things from him too. But that's no longer my problem, and honestly, I don't care anymore. I learned that no matter how much you want to save someone from a complicated relationship, they have to want to save themselves too. So, what kind of experience have you had with love, friendship, and tough decisions?